Brett Richter here at the CPTC facility in Beausejour, Manitoba. And as much as this place kind of feels like home to me when it comes to ice oval racing, I feel like I'm sitting with the mayor of the CPTC complex, Mr. Gunnar Sterne, driver of the 220 Skidoo. You kind of, I don't want to say you own this place, but this has to feel good when you pull in here.
For sure. I mean, the success here is, prominent for us. I mean, we run well here. It's definitely a track I like going around. Our equipment works well here, so it's fun, and everyone here that runs the track are very nice people, and they try to do a great job. They try to make sure it's a professional event, so it's all around. It's a great spot to come to. It's just the furthest one for us, so it's a little bit hard of a track to get to, especially when the weather's pretty brutal. Like last year when we left here, it was pretty brutal. I don't know if we were making it home. We did, but yeah, it's when we do get here, it's a good place for us.
Is there ever a chance you feel like you're overconfident here?
I don't think so. I think for me, I don't think overconfidence is a thing. I think just the more confidence you can have, the better. I think if we are running well, I think that only speaks better for things for us for later. So we'll see. I mean, I know the competition's always trying to get better, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, I think we'll be near the front again.
Yeah,
this weekend.
I would expect the same thing. I also hear from other drivers that you're almost like the benchmark. It's like, if I'm going to do well here, there's somebody, when I see him in my heat race, I have to do well. I have to be either in front of him or I have to be right next to him or I have to be near him. Does that mentality creep into you at all? Are you thinking about people thinking about that about you?
I'm sure they are. And I think about that in other classes like the F3. And even when I was younger, there's drivers you want to try and, stick close to, or, make sure you can try and beat if you can. But yeah, I think that's just competition in general. I've been always pretty competitive, so I can kind of sense when some other guys are starting to run well and get a little bit closer. And obviously, I'm looking after races, watching some videos and stuff, seeing how everybody else is running. If I did win, or
right.
So yeah, it's good. Competition's very good. These past 2 to 3 years, it's been awesome, I think.
I was actually watching a race from March that Cool Down TV had put out, and I was watching your driving style. You are very low to the ground in the corners, and some of the other drivers are up a little bit higher. So I was thinking about driving styles. Is your driving style on a Champ similar to the F3, or do you have to modify a lot to run the F3 versus the Champ?
I think you have to. The F3 is obviously a bigger sled. It's higher up. It's higher center of gravity. So I think I try and get over as much as I can on the F3. I think that's definitely helpful. If I weighed more, if I was taller, I can get a little bit more counterweight off the side of the sled on the F3. I think that just helps with that class. But with the Champ, I think it's just what's more natural for me. That's always kind of the way I've always raced, was kind of low and to the side and kind of get a little bit more of a clear view. Maybe because I'm smaller, I can maybe it's perceived to be lower,
Maybe.
So, yeah. But yeah, I've heard other people saying that you really hang off the side of that thing, and it's just more of a comfort thing. That's just kind of where I feel comfortable in the sled.
Sure. Are the throttle points similar for an F3 and a Champ sled here at a place like Beausejour? Are you on and off the throttle in similar locations? And
I think you want to be. I think that'd be the best case scenario for the F3. I think the Champ is, the Champ you're on as soon as you can, middle of the corner if you can, and off as late as you can, barring you don't blow through the corner and get up into the loose stuff. But the F3, I think if you have it working well, you can be on the throttle just as soon, maybe a little bit later. If it's not working well, you're trying to feather it out, because the F3 has a lot more torque and a lot more power underneath you. So to get that thing to hook up coming out of the corner is a little bit more difficult. So you might have to be a little bit more easy with it. But you are carrying about as the same speed coming into the corner. It's the F3 is definitely you're coming out of the corner a lot slower than you are the Champ, but you're getting up to about the same speed as a Champ. So you are really the progression of speed coming down the straightaways is quite a bit. So that's what that class is a lot different from the Champ.
Sure.
It's more of a fast and slow, while the Champ's more of a more consistent speed.
Interesting. The F3 really seemed to come around for you towards the end of the season last year. I know when you were up here in March with the F3, you were much more competitive than you had been earlier in the season on that. Have you had any time to test the F3 this year or anything, or is that you going to move the focus of the F3 up a little bit maybe, or how do you feel about that?
I'd like to, do well on the F3 for sure.
Right.
Yeah, we had a good race here in March here in Beausejour. It was, I think we had a second place in the final, which was good. It's just a little bit more time on it. I'd like to get on the testing. You know, we're from Illinois. We can't test, and it's worked well for us. You know, I would love to get on. You know, have a weekend of testing here on the F3. I think it would help a little bit. But it's just kind of figuring out. It's just been a slow burn for us with the F3. We did do well in the first couple of years we raced it. You know, in Eagle River we had a good race a couple times, won off Friday Night Thunder with it, and it's just been up and down with us for that. But I think our primary focus is still the champ. I just like racing that class better. I just have more success with it, and it's more competition in that class. And I just think that's what ice oval racing really is the champ class. The F3 class is more of just a, you know, if there wasn't Eagle River, I don't know if anyone would really race it, right? It has that prestige about the Eagle River race, and everyone wants to win that race. So that's really the only reason I race it too, is just to try to do well at Eagle River.
Sure, I can understand that. Let's not talk racing for a minute. How's the summer been? How's life? I know you got a lot of dogs. You like hunting. You're doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we did a little bit of hunting. I always go on a spring snow goose hunt in the spring after the race, so that's always fun. Bring my dog with me, my yellow lab, and then it's dogs kind of run my life, like we were talking earlier. I got 4 dogs, and you know, we go up north to our cabin, and my sisters have 2 dogs, and my parents have 3 dogs. There's a lot of dogs. It's in general in my life, so I like it though. I like dogs usually more than I like people, so it's not bad. It's fun, but yeah, it's just been busy with work, you know, with work stuff with our business, and it's trying to just have fun every little bit you can, and you know, relax a little bit going up north and doing some stuff up there. But it's the summers are quick usually.
Yeah. Let me ask you one final race question. I think out of all the people I'm going to be talking to here this weekend, you're probably the one that can answer this the best. There's a certain mentality you get into when you go to race, right? You put your helmet on, you get on your sled, you get to the starting line. If you get a red flag because of an accident, you come back and you stop for 5, 6, 7, or 8 minutes, do you get out of race mode and then have to go back into race mode? Is that a difficult mental break when those types of red flags happen?
They can be, especially if you think you're running well. If you had like a good start, and you know, everyone gets bunched back up, it can throw you for a loop a little bit, because you know, it's like, oh man, I had a great start, I was running so well, and then kind of have to restart. But it's just part of it, you know. It's just, you have to learn to deal with it. Even if you're like leading for 13 laps and there's a red flag and there's a 2-lap shootout at the end, that's just the way that ice oval racing is. So you kind of have to get over it if it does. So that's kind of my mindset. And physically you can be like in a groove, and a lot of times it can help you out too if you're really hurting there. You know, if you're really struggling and you get a little bit of a break, you can kind of collect everything physically and mentally, and if there's a couple laps at the end, you know, it can go either way. It kind of depends on what your situation is and during the race.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great insight. Takes a lot of people to get things to the track every weekend for you, and you know, to be as competitive as you are. You've got a great helmet here too with one of your primary sponsors on it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your sponsors and that helmet? That's a nice looking lid.
Yeah, this is a brand new helmet. This cool story about this helmet was I meant to get it for the last race last year. I get a new helmet every year, and this one I was going to dedicate to John Hankey. It says Hankey Strong here, so definitely missing John. You know, good friends with him. I talked to him quite a bit on Snapchat and stuff, and text every back and then. And he was one of the great guys to just talk around at the track. So definitely missing John. Wish he was here.
Yeah.
But he's doing better. You know, get updates every now and then, so it's good to hear about his his progress. But everyone that helps me, you know. Obviously, my family, my mom and my dad, you know, helped me through everything, and my wife, my team, and Tim, Mike, Jason, who came along with us, my brother-in-law and Ken, my father-in-law, and his team and his crew. You know, it's been fun the past 2 years. They've been helping me out come the races, and they're racing now, and they're wanting to do, you know, a full F500 circuit. So keep going with them is awesome. So a lot of them, you know, whole family, and obviously all my sponsors with Red Bull and Skidoo helped me out for many years now. Woody's Traction, FXR Racing, Dayco, Engine Ice, Tupper Towels, and I think, you know, everyone else that's helped us out, Feast Oil, Country Insurance, a lot of local companies that stick with me. You know, have been racing with me forever, and it's been awesome just to, share our success with them when we come back home, and they love hearing about how well we do up here in these faraway places, and it's awesome. It's working with a lot of great people from awesome companies, and it's been fun.
Yeah, good. You guys do a great job. You ready for the FXR Fast 10? Easy for you this
excited.
time. Oh yeah, you've done this before. You got the travel card. This is easy. Prefer to go to Hawaii or Mexico?
Hawaii, for sure.
Rather take a cruise ship or a train?
Cruise.
Would you rather go to Ireland or Hong Kong?
Ireland, I guess. I don't know.
You always throw
Never
one.
thought about those two.
Would you rather go camping or go to a beach resort?
Beach resort. Yes.
If you had to attend, would you go to an art museum or a history museum?
History, definitely, for sure. History.
Prefer city or mountains?
Depends on the week, maybe, but I'd say if I had to pick up mountains, yeah.
Okay. Would you rather go to Broadway in New York or Nashville and Music Row?
Nashville.
Would you rather go to a concert or a movie?
I don't know. I think I would pick movie, but my wife would pick a concert, so I'd probably end up going to the concert.
That's a fair answer. Would you rather tent or use a camper?
Camper, yeah.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cup or Snickers?
Let's pick Reese's to make it no confrontation.
He's one of the good guys. Gunnar Sterne is just one of those great people I like chatting with. So good luck this weekend, both classes.
Yep,
Hope things go really well for you. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you throughout the weekend.
Yep, awesome.
Best of luck.
Thanks, Brett.
All right, that's another one of our great drivers here in the F3 and the Pro Champ class number 220, Gunnar Sterne.